Creamer Media's Mining Weekly is interviewing Freddy Mugery, the CEO of Hydropower Equipment, HPE, a proudly local company that has been at the forefront of designing and manufacturing innovative high-pressure water-powered equipment for the mining industry since 1985. You've been CEO of Hydropower Equipment now for exactly 1 month to the day. What motivated you to take up the CEO position at HPE? And where do you plan to take HPE?
Martin, it's always a great pleasure talking to you. And for me, this is a fantastic opportunity for both myself and for HPE. And looking at HPE and the technologies that they have, they are way better than what I've seen water powered in the industry. Why did I pick this role? I'm an engineer by training, and I happen to be also in business. And looking at these wonderful technologies that HPE has created over the years and perfected, I was drawn to it naturally. And because I'm also an innovator and I'm an industrialist, and I've been building up a portfolio of businesses that are in the manufacturing space as well. So this is a marvelous opportunity for me to get involved in. So the ambition that I want to execute here, which is shared by me and the shareholders of HPE, is to take HPE multinational. So far, HPE has been largely a South African based company with a few exports here and there, but now we want to seriously go multinational. The time is right.
How do you plan to internationalize HPE's business? And which countries would you go to first?
The plan is rather simple. I think the execution will be tough, but the plan is simple. First of all, what I want to build is really a very strong team that can take us multinational. And starting with the talent in-house, I've already identified that there is decent, very strong, capable people in the business. We may need to augment here and there so that we've got capacity to manage and run a business that operates in multiple geographies, Martin. So that's the game plan. So I've been in the business 1 month, like you said, you correctly mentioned there. So the plan is the next 12 months, we build this A team that we need to execute this plan. At the same time, we also expand locally, because in the local market, I think we still have scope to most probably double our business. So we're going to do that. In parallel with that, we're going to be preparing to go multinational. And preparations means we will start to analyze all the countries that have mines that can benefit from our technology. And that is really mines that are mining narrow tabular ore bodies. And once we've identified those, then we choose the mode of entry. Are we going to set up a greenfield business? Are we going to acquire a business in that market? Are we going to simply export all the product in there? We're going to choose, and that will depend on each country's specific circumstances. But my first preference is to really have HPE dotted all over the world and carry the whole brand of HPE internationally.
Fantastic.
With, of course, we want to still be based here at home in South Africa, run a multinational business from here.
And then the use of water energy. This has always interested me. Water is allowed from surface to cool underground mines, and that provides, in the form of a water pressure head, energy. Tell us about the various ways that HPE puts that water energy to fruitful use.
Martin, it's an amazing story. HPE has built a portfolio of products, and I'll just put them into 3 categories. The first one is really the valves that control that high pressure water. We make valves that go as far as high as 250 bar. And that's serious pressure, considering that our car tires are only pumped to 2.5. Our valves go to 250 bar. And we are among the few companies in the world that manufacture valves to that pressure rating. In Africa, I would say we are the only ones that can do that and consistently export these valves around the world at the moment. So that's the one product, the valves that we do. The second one is the energy saving system when you're pumping water from underground to surface. So we've figured out a system of using that whole head of the water coming down to push the water, the used water out of the mine. And through that system, we help our customers save between 2 and 3 million rand a month on electricity bill, on pumping costs. So that's a major product. And we're working on another product that could revolutionize the industry once we've perfected it. That is hoisting or using hydro as well in situations where a vertical shaft is not affordable, but there's decent tons to be transported to surface. So we're working on that. The third category of product, this is the bulk of the stuff that we will be going multinational with, is our water-powered or hydro-powered drilling system. So in those systems, we are able to help customers get between 20 and 30% more blasts per month. So I mean that's phenomenal. And we do that consistently because we've designed our system to be extremely reliable, and our availabilities are in the north of 95%. And yesterday, one customer reported that they're getting 99% availability on our equipment, which is fantastic. At the moment, I'm totally convinced that hydropower is the way to go. Hydropower is way better.
We live in a world where sustainability, yes, green credentials, decarbonization, they become the order of the day.
Yes.
To what extent do HPE's water-powered mining products meet all of these modern musts?
We tick a number of boxes. First of all, if you compare it to compressed air wastes a lot of energy. So we use less than half of what compressed air systems would use. And then the next thing is we actually use water to lubricate the drill. So as the water drills and jets out, there's no mist, and it achieves a cooling effect in the environment. And it's 2 to 3 times faster when you're drilling. So that means the exposure to the stope and dangerous areas, you reduce the time because the drillers are done in less than half the time, compared to conventional drills. And there isn't that mist of oil and air in the space that people end up breathing in. So in many ways, hydropower is the way to go especially in narrow stopes, And by the way, with a hydro drill, you only have one pipe that goes to the drill. With air-powered equipment, you've got the air pipe and the water line, right? And with hydro oil-powered systems, you've got 2 lines for oil, 1 line for water, you've got 3 lines. So you can imagine the chaos that causes in that confined space. So hydro is way better.
You spoke about these narrow ore bodies, narrow tubular, and I think you've yes, covered it quite well. But just a little bit more color. South Africa's underground mines are noted for this, the narrow tubular ore bodies. What are the distinctive advantages, and you've mentioned some, of using HPE's hydro-powered solutions to mine narrow tubular ore bodies? So
the key advantages really, because a mine is there to extract ore and bring it to surface for processing. So the RDOs would tell you, those who have switched to hydro, they'll tell you straight that they don't want to see an air drill ever, because it's much faster, it is lighter, and because of the use of the way we use water, it creates a much cooler environment as well. So, but for the owners of mines, it's really, if you can get 20 to 30% more blasts per month, the business case is made. The bonuses are really saving on water and the ESG benefits as well.
So that competitiveness you've touched on, how financially competitive would you say HPE's range of products and services are?
They are extremely competitive, and the way you look at it is at a systems level. Because you see the mistake that people make when they compare hydro to air is that they exclude the compressor cost. Compressed air is extremely wasteful, it leaks everywhere. So if you work out your system cost from and compare it to an air system including a compressor, it's definitely cheaper. And sometimes there's also the misconception that hydro dumps a lot of water on the floor. But the truth is, in real life tests, we actually use less water than compared to an air drill, because we're in and out faster, you know. And we also do have a jet pump to help pick up the water that's on the floor as well. So those problems are solved that people used to concern themselves about. So financially, it makes all sense, and hydro is way better.
What should be taken away from this interview that's very important?
Look, the big takeaway is that as HPE, we are definitely going multinational. Yeah. And hydro, by any dimension you'd want to measure it compared to alternatives, is way better.
That was Creamer Media's Mining Weekly, interviewing Freddy Mugeri, the CEO of Hydropower Equipment, HPE, a company that specializes in high-pressure water-powered equipment.